Now, let me first start by saying that I am one of those people that do not think the world has caught up to the United States. Now, I will admit, and I do understand that there are players that are at the top of their craft and can rival a Team USA team, but I don't think the world has caught up. Yes, Giannis is great. Nikola Jokic is great. Victor Wembanyama is great. Luka Doncic is all great players. But if you compile the best foreign players going against the best American players or the best players on Team USA, I don't think it would be particularly close. And what I like about this time is we are going to see that sort of. Obviously, teams are going to play other teams, and USA is going to play Spain or whatever. But there's never really going to be a way that we can compile all the great players from different countries to play Team USA. That's just not going to happen. And when you look at this Team USA team, again, we've talked about it, but to go over it again, you have Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Tyrese Halliburton, Joel Embiid, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Drew Holiday, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Jason Tatum. That team should not lose. That team should easily leave the Olympics with a gold medal. We're having conversations not about if Team USA is going to, win gold or not. I think their biggest competition is Canada, but which as we're recording, they haven't played yet, but they're supposed to play tonight as an exhibition. But they're comparing this team to a lot of the other Team USAs, the Redeem Team, the Dream Team. And the question is this USA team better than the rest? I don't know if it is. I know you have multiple MVPs here. You have multiple NBA champions. But I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say this is better than the Redeem Team, this is better than Team US or the Dream Team. But what I will say is this. I don't think there would be an upset bigger in the history of upsets if this Team USA team does not win it all. I've talked about it ad nauseum. When the United States brings their best, and honestly, outside of a few people, this is their best. Outside, I do think Kyrie could have made it. I do think Paul George could have made it over people, but this is their best. And I just don't think that there is not a team outside of the United States that can beat this team. But what I wanted to talk about, and obviously this has been a topic throughout this week, and I wanted to give my take on it, is who is going to start for this Team USA team. This team is stacked, it's loaded with talent, and honestly, you really can't go wrong outside of a few places. And to me, I think there's only one position that is under conversation. I think so. The locks for the starters, I have Steph Curry at the 1, LeBron James at the 3, KD at the 4, and Joel Embiid at the 5. I think that those should be locks for starters at the Team USA or for Team USA. I think the only lock and the only argument is for the shooting guard position. And the conversation that you're hearing is between two people. It's between Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker. Both incredible players, both great in their own right. But this conversation kind of started when Anthony Edwards came out saying that he was the alpha on the team. He is the best player. They have to pretty much build around him. I love the confidence. I really do. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right. I probably wouldn't agree. But I love the fact that Anthony Edwards, who obviously isn't as experienced as everyone else, thinks that he is the man, which he has every right to think that. This USA team, that they need someone like Anthony Edwards, so he's incredibly important. And I love the fact that it is an argument who is the best. Now, there is no question that we have a bunch of older players. Like Steph Curry is on the older side. KD is on the older side. LeBron James obviously is on the older side. So I think that this is sort of the passing of the torch moment for Team USA, for these players. I'm not saying Steph Curry is just going to instantly be trash. I'm not saying that, you know, LeBron James is going to instantly be trash or KD. But what I'm saying is this is a time where we're going to see the younger player. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of you know, the older players, Steph, LeBron. I don't think we're going to see a lot of them in Team USA or play a lot of minutes, because I don't think they need to. Again, I don't think that there's a team that can go up against toe for toe this team. And I think that we're going to see a lot of the younger players. We're going to see a lot of Anthony Edwards. We're going to see a lot of Tyrese Halliburton. We're going to see a lot of, you know, Jason Tatum. I just don't think they need to play that much. And I'm kind of hyping up Anthony Edwards a lot because I think between him and Devin Booker, because those are the two people that we're hearing could start at the two spot, I think it has to be Anthony Edwards. Don't get me wrong. I think the leading scorer on this is probably going to be KD. I still think that out of everyone that's playing, he's probably the best scorer. But I think that Anthony Edwards is going. I think this year's playoffs was kind of his coming out moment, kind of his, I'm showing the world exactly how good I am. And I think Team USA is going to show that, oh no, that wasn't a fluke. I am on the same level as these players. And which is why I love hearing the talk of, yo, they have to build around me. I'm still the alpha. I'm still the best player, you know? So my starting five is Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, KD, and Joel Embiid. I don't know who you think is going to beat that lineup. And on top of that, you have Anthony Davis coming off the bench. You have Kawhi Leonard coming off the bench. You have Jason Tatum coming off the bench. I don't know who you think is going to beat this team. Now, again, if they do lose, that would probably be the largest upset in Team USA basketball history. And one thing that I do like about this, and why I think Anthony Edwards would be a good fit, outside of the fact that I think that you're not going to get a lot of Bron, you're not going to get a lot of Steph Curry because you don't need a lot of them. You don't need a big scoring punches from those players or the older players. This is a showcase to show. It's not a coincidence that most of the players that play for Team USA, the year after, they usually take a big jump. Whether we talk about when Dwight Howard was on Team USA, when Deron Williams was on Team USA, hell, even Carlos Boozer when he was on, Richard Jefferson. Usually, because you're playing with the best of the best. Iron sharpens iron, that's the saying. And when you're playing against, like, think about it. Every single day you're going against better players. You're going against the best of the best. There's no room to take a play off. There's no room to take a day off because, I mean, Anthony Edwards would have to go up against Devin Booker and Steph and KD and Bron. Like, that is going to make you 10 times better. And I love the fact, I do like this team a lot. Again, there are players that I think could and should probably be on this team, but I have no issue with how this team was constructed. I think every player is going to play. I'm not going to say big minutes, but every player is important, and their skill set is going to essentially help in the grand scheme of things. And I think that obviously the biggest, let's say, superpower that we have is scoring on this team. Yeah, you have some non-scores, but when you have the greatest shooter ever, when you have arguably the greatest offensive weapon ever, I don't. Again, man, if you were to compile the best foreign players all over the world, I think it would be a good game, but I don't think that they'd win. Especially when this is the best that we have outside of a few players. This is the best that America has. And again, I think this would be the biggest upset in sports history if this Team USA team does not come back with gold. Now, I was thinking while I was doing this show, how could they not come back with gold? How did the 2004 Olympic team that had Allen Iverson, LeBron, Carmelo, D. Wade, Tim Duncan, how did that team not come back with gold? And can those same mistakes be duplicated with this team? Well, I will say this. Let's first dispel this notion. The reason why the 2004 Olympic team did not win gold wasn't because of talent. They were by far the best, the most talented team in the world. But the Team USA 2004 team, and honestly, a lot of the recent teams that we brought over to, the Olympics or FIBA, should show you the importance of team building and the importance of not just the players, but how, the lineups are made and how rotations work. I think one of the biggest reasons that Team USA did not win in 2004 is because of the rotations and why you have LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, even though they were younger, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, D. Wade sitting long minutes and not playing with each other, and you prioritizing Stephon Marbury or an Allen Iverson over a LeBron, or there were decisions that could have definitely and should have changed the trajectory of that team. And when you look at some of the recent teams that we brought over, whether we're talking about the Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Kemba Walker teams, team building is important. And I will say, gone are the days, even if you do not, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, it doesn't matter if you compile the best foreign players or not. A lot of these players have been playing for years with each other. Gone are the days where you can just bring a random five from team, I think that the world has caught up to the B team and the C team. And that's no offense to those players, but at the time, Jaylen Brown was not on the same level and is not on the same level as Anthony Edwards. Or at the time, Jalen Brunson is not on the same level as a Steph Curry. It's just, Paolo Banchero is not on the same level right now as Kevin Durant. No offense to them, but that's just the truth. And if you compile like we were talking about, if you get a team that has Giannis and Wemby and Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray, like if you get that team, then they're for sure beating our B and C team. But I don't think they're going to beat the A team. And I think Team USA is learning from their mistakes as, okay, if we're going to do this, we have to bring our best. Because there was a time when you can bring, your B team and C team and still blow people off the water. Well, the world has caught up to that team. And I think it's going to be very interesting, man. And I'm excited. Again, I have Steph at the 1, Anthony Edwards at the 2, Braun at the 3, KD at the 4, and Joel Embiid at the 5. I think that is a team that is... I would be shocked if they do not come back home with a gold medal. because something drastically went wrong if they didn't. And there's a good possibility that this is very well the last time that we see a lot of these players don a Team USA jersey, which is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why you have some of the players that you have. So I'm excited. Again, as we're shooting this, I think they're supposed to have an exhibition tonight against Canada, which, in all intents and purposes, I think as a team is Team USA's biggest competition going into this. But yeah, especially when you see that Slovenia, they didn't make it. They didn't qualify. Greece really only has one player. Serbia got one player if he plays. Yeah, I don't see Team USA losing, bro. I don't. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.